the big topic of the day is these coaches getting fired through the week. I think it started even last week that coaches started to get canned. I could be mistaken.
Yep, the
But
UCLA head coach kicked it
yeah,
all off.
let's go right through the names. Most recently, Oklahoma State fired Mike Gundy. Virginia Tech fired Brent Pry, and UCLA fired Deshaun Foster. All of those teams have had not awesome starts, to say the least. Gerardo, let's just dive right into it. You can start with Deshaun Foster. I think that was the first one.
Yeah, Deshaun Foster and even Brent Pry, I would put them together. Coaches that did not deserve to be head coaches. It's just you kind of knew the writing on the wall for Deshaun Foster was that because they were like really, really bad. I mean, we talk about it a lot about UCLA and their failures at Nico, and like it has just been a perfect storm of failure over there at UCLA. And their head coach was already inept to start the season. Nobody thought that they would even they'll probably win 3 games this season, but like he had no reason being a head coach. Brent Pry, I mean, like another bad Virginia Tech season yet again. Like this is just repeating itself over and over again until they have a notable head coach hire. They're going to be behind in the ACC, especially this year. ACC is looking pretty strong, especially with Georgia Tech, Miami coming back. And also, I mean, it's weird because Clemson's still a relatively decent football team. They may
can't
also
win.
be looking.
They just can't win.
They just can't win. Oklahoma State is the most notable because it's Mike Gundy. You know, I'm a man. I'm 40. Is one of the most notable conferences ever. One, he still looks sick with a mullet on as a head coach. He's always been. I thought he would actually survive this season. I thought maybe this season was his last ride. I'm a little bit surprised that they moved on from him as fast as they did. One, he has a $15 million buyout on his contract, which Oklahoma State has agreed to. Most notably, because we talked about this on our last episode of the Explicitly Unbiased for NFL, Des Bryant had came out and said that Zach Robinson should be the new head coach for Oklahoma State. Former Oklahoma State quarterback
Zach Robinson, the Falcons offensive coordinator that's been failing miserably.
Yes.
Good.
So
I'm glad we were asking Des Bryant for his opinion on this one. Drop that one like he dropped his pass.
Hey, but listen, you can't really see. The thing is though, because sometimes like he could be a great college coach. I mean, there's been notable bad NFL coaches that have done really well in college.
Then you have guys like Bill Belichick that sucked at both without Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, well, exactly. There's just dudes out there that I think that are more notable college guys. I mean, for instance, you would say the guy who's at Nebraska right now that was a really bad Panthers head coach. He was really bad Panthers head coach. Nick Saban. I mean, he was only really good as a coordinator in the NFL. He was never really good as a head coach when he was there in Miami. Arkansas and the Louisville head coach that left Atlanta. He ended up being on a motorcycle with a neck brace. I forget that dude's name.
I don't even know who you're talking about on that one. I have to Google that one.
Okay. He was really good at Arkansas, and then he ended up getting caught up with a girl who had a man. He fell off a motorcycle, had a neck brace. Oh my God. It's the most notable picture. One of the most famous press conferences of all time in college football history.
Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, Bobby Petrino. Yep, who left the Atlanta Falcons, I believe, like in the middle of the season, and left like a note.
You know how I googled that Atlanta Falcons head coach motorcycle accident.
Yep. But he had the accident while he was at Arkansas. But yeah, like I think it's going to be a little bit of a different change for Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy has had unbelievably successful seasons there. I mean, most notably in the BCS era, not so much in the college football playoff era. Especially when he had, I mean, Brandon Whedon and Justin Blackman. When they had him, I believe they went they lost only one game that season, and they were arguing to play in the national championship that year. And I mean, freaking Justin Blackmon almost had 2,000 yards receiving, and that's kind of before they started really throwing the ball all over the yard out there. And I believe that was the 2012 season, 2012.
Standby. College.
But no, I think like Mike Gundy's an unbelievably head coach. There's no way he's not going to get picked up by an organization. I think he's a good recruiter. He's always been. I think, especially for Oklahoma State. I mean, before him, it was Les Miles. Les Miles was a pretty decent head coach out there in Oklahoma State.
It wasn't 2012. I think we're talking 2011 when they won the Fiesta Bowl against Stanford.
Probably so then. And 2011 was what national championship was that? No, I don't think
2011, the championship was Alabama LSU.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was Alabama LSU. Bama won 21-0.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be it then, because that was the one where they had a really good offense, and I think that was to me that was also the worst. That's what started the playoffs, was that BCS game. That game was not good.
Jordan Jefferson was a quarterback for LSU.
Yep. That would be Justin Jefferson's older brother. Yep. That was, and also he was a pretty big piece of shit. He punched a chick.
Blows.
Yeah, he also punched a chick in the face at a bar. So
how do you start 10 games and only pass for 700 yards?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't that good. Which, I mean, also Mike Gundy, the ultimate Oklahoma State guy. I mean, he played at Oklahoma State as a quarterback and was a wide receivers coach, quarterback coach, OC, QB coach, and then ended up being the head coach at Oklahoma. I mean, for 20 years straight, he has a 170-90 record. He's 12-6 in bowl games. He's won a Big 12 championship, Big 12 Coach of the Year. I mean,
so you don't think it'll be too long before he finds another spot?
No, he won't be at all. I think he 100%. There's going to be somebody's going to hire. I mean, the dude was removed 2 years ago from being Big 12 Coach of the Year. It isn't like it isn't like a slow, steady decline. It's just, when you're tenured so long somewhere, and then his lack of when you're at an establishment like Oklahoma State for that long and not won a national championship or bring notable hardware for 20 years, you get into the Bo Pelini, how he was at Nebraska. You get into Jim Tressel at Ohio State, where it's we need hardware in order to keep you around. Yes, you can probably get us close to the playoffs or get us into the national championship conversation, but we need hardware. And especially with lack of any type of Heisman's in there, it's really hard for, I would say, for an institution to keep you around. And it's just unfortunate for Mike Gundy but I fully believe he's going to get hired somewhere. And he's going to be successful somewhere else. I just think that it was going to be a down year for him at Oklahoma State this year. And especially within the Big 12 still, right? Because they're still in the Big 12, Oklahoma State, still in the Big 12.
I don't think so. Actually, you might be right. Conference football. Yeah, Big 12.
Yep. So they're still in the Big 12. And it's you had Texas Tech, Iowa State, and Arizona State all above them going into this year. Not a lot of people were looking at Oklahoma State like that. So I just think he's going to 100% going to get a job. Be sooner rather than later. He's a good coach, a legitimately good coach. And also, bro, it's Oklahoma State. Look what we're talking about. Look how much success he brought to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma Sooners, if it wasn't for legacy, they talk about how hard it is to actually recruit, to make people go to Norman, Oklahoma. You know what's even harder than that? Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's granted outside of rodeoing, it's a huge rodeo school, Oklahoma State. But to bring in notable talent to go to Oklahoma State is really hard. Really, really hard. And the amount of success that he has had is very damning to what, like, who he is and how good of a head coach he's been and for how long he's been doing it. So I think he's going to easily find a job. And I think Oklahoma State's going to look back on this in 3 years. It's going to be hard for them to hire somebody and be like, bro, we just had Mike Gundy. Like, they definitely need like a bridge head coach, like a coach that needs to be kind of hated a little bit. And
So
then like,
Gerard Mayo, there's your intro back to football.
let's give him like, I don't know, like give him some coordinator from some
Adam
like
Gase.
from some winning like school or something like that. And then all of a sudden
Matt
like, yeah.
Patricia.
You could do well, yeah. Well, shit, no, because Ohio State actually looking nice. So it would be like some just middle of the pack something, like, and just hire their OC or something like that, and then just make sure like that dude kind of sucks for 2.5 seasons, and then next thing you know, you're like, all right, let's go get Zach Robinson, and then because the follow up act is always worse. Like, it's very rarely that you go from Nick Saban to Les Miles. That's hard. Like that's never usually the case. So, but yeah, that's how I feel about Mike Gundy. I think I've always loved Mike Gundy.
What about the other two? Shuro, not Sharon Moore. God damn it, he's probably next.
Yeah.
The
Virginia Tech. So, I mean, everybody's talking about, they're going to get the dude from South Carolina because that's Frank Beamer's son. He's openly said that he's not going to Virginia Tech. He openly said that he's making his legacy everywhere but Virginia Tech. They should hire him. Yes, he's a really good coach, but because he personally came out and said, I'm not going there, because he goes, no matter what I do at Virginia Tech, unless I win a national championship, unless I win bring in a Heisman, there's no way I'm going to be able to. Even if I did that, there's no way that I'm beating my father's legacy at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I could see that.
And mind you, do you think Virginia Tech, even hiring his son, who's decent, yeah, but like, is he going to be bringing a Heisman hopeful, or is he going to be winning a national championship within the next 10 years? No. So that UCLA, I mean, they're talking about getting USC's defensive coordinator. I mean, big whoop. I mean, UCLA really just needs to say F it this season in all aspects and just really, truly reevaluate. They are one of the teams that just didn't understand, wanted to come to the Big Ten. Like, they are just not going to win a game this season. They lost to UNLV handedly.
I thought you were a UNLV guy. Don't take that as
I am, but I mean, like, most of the teams in the Big Ten are better than that team. So I don't know what they're going to do, reevaluating on that. But I mean, Mike Gundy's available, but I don't know if he's going to go to Virginia Tech or UCLA.